Director Lokesh, one of the hottest new talents in Kollywood or Tamil cinema. He came to the limelight with the film Managaram, was made in 2015 and released in around 2017, I believe. Lokesh claims that he, as most Tamil Nadu population, was quite a fan of Rajini's works and action, especially how he cried in the film Muthu, the scene where Rajini gets thrown out of the house. One of the first scenes that affected him emotionally. And of course, after that, he claims as he became older, he started getting more into Kamal films and becoming Kamal's fan. So there is some background. We live in an era where many celebrities claim to be fans of certain stars, often for purpose of career advancement. One of the examples, of course, Joseph Vijay. Nothing against his strategy. As an artist, he was employed a certain strategy for success. So the judgment of the morality is up to the people. So he used Rajini extensively in his earlier on films because his target was to reach the spot of Rajinikanth. How much he really loved Rajini is up for debate, but in fact, even in the most recent interview, Lokesh did mention that Vijay said you will do a Rajini film or Talavar's film soon enough. So there might be some love there, although more recently Vijay has been showing MGR in his films, maybe to portray his interest in becoming a politician. So we do hope that if his love was genuine, he by all means can keep Rajini references in his film, no harm. Anyway, I digress. We were talking about the confusion and the mess of story in Coolie, but as we all know, success makes people forget everything, and who knows, all this messiness can lead to, hopingly, a good product. So let's start from the very beginning. When just around that COVID period, actually this happened, whereby the hot news was that Rajini would act in a Kamal produced film directed by Loki, and according to Loki from his own mouth, apparently this was something both of them had planned some years before. And of course, it being a Kamal production, Kamal by all means could have come in for a cameo role or something like that at the minimum. And once that project failed, many people said that is the story that became Kamal Hassan's hit Vikram, but that was not the case. What actually happened, again this is from Loki's mouth, if it's accurate, is that the story that Loki pitched was that of a gangster story. Possibly, I think it might take inspired from Basha, Mark Anthony versus Manik Basha. So it could have been some kind of thing like that, whereby Kamal and Rajini are pitted against each other in a gangster type of a film. And according to Loki, COVID put paid to that idea. However, if you see some news from certain Hollywood reporters, they claim that Rajini wasn't so satisfied when Kamal brought in a co-producer, because Rajini said, I'm doing this film for you, not for others. And so that's one of the reasons that project fell apart. So if you guys know anything more about that story, you can share in the comment section. Another story that did the rounds was that Loki had a story about some old gentleman who ran a phone repair shop in daytime, and then certain things happened that forced him to take on bigger roles. So that story, again, whether it was for Rajini or Kamal, we are not sure, but that occurred around the time of the meeting of Rajini, Kamal and Loki, and he said the project was almost signed with all three of them on board. And the reason why such a project with Rajini Kamal have difficulty taking off now is because after that, as per Loki himself, Vikram film happened for Kamal and Jailer for Rajinikanth, and their market value now again has blasted to the stratosphere, and so budget wise it will be a big challenge according to him. We all doubt this, of course. We doubt everything that's being said also, because a lot of diplomacy and all is involved. Because now if they can do multi-starers with such big investments, why would it be impossible to bring Rajini and Kamal together? But anyway, again I digress. So we have about two or three stories at the point of Rajini Kamal Loki combo meeting, right? One is supposed to be the Vikram story with Rajini in it, which we said is false. And second one is about the old gentleman with the cell phone repair shop, which could have been thrown about. And third, as per like Loki's words, is Rajini and Kamal being two gangsters who are going at each other, which it seems quite feasible actually among the theories, right? Regarding Vikram, actually this is interesting about Loki's approach to making scripts and stories. He that's why I think he's very successful with stars as well, because as he himself said, he'll try to see how he can project the star's strengths in the script, in the story. So he tries to play to the star's strength. That's why when he directs heroes, the films do very well. The combination works out nicely. Maybe directors like T.J. Gnanavel, who made Vettayan, could learn a bit from that, because he was trying to sort of force feed Rajini into his serious, journalistic, serious social issue kind of story, and he didn't gel so well. Whereas Nelson, his stories are naturally commercial types, so yeah, that one wasn't a major issue for Rajini to fit in. It wasn't so jarring. So Loki naturally sees that, and Loki is not so rigid about screenplay and story as long as it excites him and plays to the hero's strength. Okay, this is a good formula. So when it came to Vikram and Kamal, the story was born because he had like this kind of a discussion. He said what roles Kamal has not done before. Kamal literally done every single role you can think of, and obviously Loki didn't want to repeat same old and all that. So in their discussions, then Kamal talked about something that sort of excited him, about somebody who dies but then is actually alive. And so they started working from there. And Loki also looked at Kamal's back catalogue, and Vikram was there, and so on and so forth. So Loki has lots of these what if kind of things that he makes into stories. So I wouldn't be surprised if in Coolie the story also has some kind of what if elements. What if this happened? Like for example in Vikram, what if Agent Vikram at that time became an undercover vigilante hero, killing drug lords, right? Something like this. So after that first meeting of Loki, Rajini and Kamal, that didn't work out. Then subsequently our Rajini's superpower backer Anirudh is an architect of many of Rajini's recent projects, so met up with Loki and made a proposal based on Loki's story, which both Rajini and Loki was very excited about. They say it's a genre Rajini have now done before, so we all said it might be time travel, multiverse, science fiction, all these kind of things were thrown about. And at this time Loki himself said Rajini excited and hugged him and all that. But in this latest interview that Loki did with Sudhir Srinivasan, you guys can go and check it out. It's a nice interview too. He says that after 2 months, Loki started feeling a bit slow in that story, and Rajini and Loki both loved the story initially, but he talked to Rajini and both agreed, okay, fine, let's do another story. So that means that first initial story of that science fiction, multiverse, time travel, all these things, whether that was true, we do not know. Maybe in a post-movie interview, we'll talk about what story that both of them worked in 2 months that they lost, not they, but Loki lost excitement for. So now he came up with another story and script. Maybe it's another what if. Maybe he took it from the world of who knows. Maybe something like what if Basha did this, or maybe what if, what other gangster movies. T Rajini, what he did. That's a harbor also, right? T Rajini, what could have happened if T Rajini something else happened to him and so on. So the big budget IMAX project which Loki wanted to go to the US and use Manoj Paramahamsa as the director and all that, maybe sort of shelved. Maybe they're trying to do, maybe they introduce some brief concept of the science fiction in here. Maybe it's a lot of safe story, gangsterism and all predominate. If it does well, maybe they'll plan it as a part 2. I think this might be a strategy. Looking at all the harbor and multiple characters and all, there might be some Vikram-like element to these multiple characters playing strong roles. As he says, it's not a cameo very strongly. It might be a gangster kind of movie to play to Rajini's strength, because Loki said he liked to play to hero's strength. So this must be an intro and appetizer to see where the audience are lapping it up, and then to go for a bigger part 2 movie. The old Tamil song and new movies are getting boring now, so we do not know whether biryani, nights and songs will be there. That's it guys. Share in your comments if you want me to do more.